Starting Kirtan, someone is.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Mataji's, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are starting Mataji with we are 8 now, and then let us see if more participants joins in between.
Yes, Prabhu. By the time Mangalacharan happens, others will join. Yeah, it's already the time.
Yes.
Please.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam साधवीतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखावतं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we welcome you all once again, Prabhujis and Madajis. Kindly bless that I can once again say few words from Srimad Bhagwatam in the mood that Srila Prabhupada wanted us to discuss it. And before I share the screen and before we go shloka by shloka, in today's verses, we are again going to get many lifetime useful tips. One of them will be about anger. Who is qualified to be angry? What are the qualifications required to be angry? And when the anger comes, what are the things that we should be careful at? And sorry, can you forgive me just a second? Yeah, sorry for that. So, and when the anger comes, what are the things, as I said, we should be careful at? And then, what are our responsibilities when we get angry? A lot of things we are going to discuss. Keyword for today's discussion is anger. Okay, it is one of the emotions, very important. Most of the time it comes without invited, but it is different for the sages when it comes. So that is a reason why I'm saying like it is very important, because all of us deals with this uninvited, uncontrolled, unmanaged anger, and we have to face the consequences of that because we don't qualify for the minimum qualification required to be actually angry. Okay, so many things are going to be unrevealed as we go. Okay, now I share the screen and here we go. We're going to read from Srimad Bhagwatam, Canto 4, Chapter 14, verse from 30 onwards. So I'll try to read the shloka, and then we'll go devotee by devotee, whoever is interested to read the translation and the purport. Hare Krishna. Iti te asatkrutastena dvija panditamanina bhagyanayam bhavya yachanayam tasmai vidura chukraduhu. There is no translation. There is no purport here in this verse. Sindhu Mataji, can you please read the translation? Sindhu Mataji, you want to read the translation? 30th.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Vidura, all good fortune unto you. The foolish king who thought himself very learned, thus insulted the great sages, and the sages, being broken-hearted by the king's words, became very angry at him.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. So, we have seen so far that the sages, they try to convince King Vena for his responsibilities. But King Vena instead, he did not accept the suggestion, the first mistake. And then the second mistake that he did was he insulted the sages, saying all the demigods, he is one above everyone, and then he should be worshipped as the god. So there is a similarity between King Vena and Indra, right? So we all know the pastime of Govardhan Lila, where even Indra wanted to be worshipped by all the Brijvasis. And then again, King Vena also wanted here to be worshipped by the sages. One difference that we see here is after the Govardhan Lila, when Indra realized his mistake, he approached his guru, and he offered that Surabhi cow, and he went to Brahma, right? Also for the suggestion, Brahma also said, I have also made the mistake. And finally, like they offer Surabhi cow and to pacify the Lord, and then basically ask for the forgiveness. Here, King Vena did not leave any such opportunity. So it is said in Srimad Bhagwatam, when a person does not have anyone to be corrected, then that person is like a dead person. He's living, but he's a dead person. So it is something like we had discussed this example. The role of the scriptures in our life is to help us to know if we are going in the right directions. So whether it is the written words in the scriptures or whether it is spoken words by the sages, the purpose is to help us correct ourselves and to ensure we are going in the right direction. If in our life we have every other thing, but not anyone who can correct us, it is just a matter of a time we are already dead person. Like Krishna says, right? Oh, I have already killed these enemies, but it's just a matter. You want to become an instrument, you can become an instrument. So why we are discussing this again in the light of book distribution marathon that is going on. So the very first book distributors were the Siksha disciples of Jiva Goswami, and they are Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakura, and then Dukhi Krishna Das, who later became Sukhi Krishna Das, and then Shyamanand Pandit, if I'm correct. So that was the first ever responsibility of book distribution given to them. And even though they did not want to leave Vrindavana and their spiritual masters, but when this service was assigned, the spiritual master also agreed to let them go for the book distribution. So we should be very much proud of the fact that this responsibility, with the help of the parampara, has been given to us. I received one of the quotes recently where Srila Prabhupada mentions that any person who does the book distribution, even a book, is guaranteed to be helped by Srila Prabhupada and coming back to Godhead. So it is a wonderful opportunity. And then there are many reasons why we are discussing the book example, book marathon example. We might be having this doubt: how come sages explaining to King Vena has got any relation with book distribution? It has a deep relation, and there is a reason why we chose to connect them. When we go for book distribution, our experiences during that time are completely unpredictable. Right? We might be going with our plan A, that we will be doing such and such thing, and this is how we will be distributing. And but we can never know, okay, what kind of people we are going to meet that day and what learnings the Lord is going to teach us. So there will be some times when we go and the people react very angrily. Completely, we can go with our preparation. If this person says me this thing, that will be my answer. If he says, "Are you getting any commission?" I will give him this answer. If he tells me, why are you doing this? There are enough books available in the phone. I will give him this answer. We will have our entire question and answer session, in our mind. But the beauty is, we will meet someone, and then it will be a new experience. It is like on the spot. Okay. I had a good argument yesterday about the distribution, and one person took the Krishna book and then said, why there are 3 dots? What this is the spelling? This is not the correct spelling of Krishna. Krishna is the right spelling. Why you people have changed this? So I said, I tried to convince him in many ways. I said, if these 3 dots and the spelling of the word Krishna is coming in on the path of your bhakti, I'll hold your feet. You just ignore it for now. You do rest of your journey. Trust me, because that is a time when we are dependent, completely dependent. Because if the syllabus is known, we can prepare, right? Death is something where the syllabus is not known. We don't know in what situation, how and when it can happen. So the preparation starts well from the book distribution onwards. So we do have a right to get angry, but will that angriness at that time, what will Srila Prabhupada think? Okay, if we answer a person angrily, okay, the crowd where we were having this experience, right? But Srila Prabhupada had mentioned once to one of his disciples, the mood that through which you are doing the book distribution, you will see a day when you do a distribution and turn, and Lord Chaitanya is right there to embrace you. So how will these personalities feel when we get angry on them in back? It is very easy to get angry. We do it always, at least in our inner side, inner self, right? When we are not seen by other devotees, we do get angry. It is very easy to do that. But when we are doing it for the service of the Lord, let us have a controlled anger, if at all it is coming. Okay, what is controlled anger? In nectar, okay, yeah, in nectar of instruction, vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam, right? Krodha vegam means anger. Srila Prabhupada gives two examples: anger by Arjuna and Hanumana. If Hanuman was really so angry, then how is it possible that he burned entire Lanka, but except two places? One, Ashok Vatika; second, the place where Vivekshana was staying. So, can we ever experiment this thing? An anger where we know exactly what we are doing and what care we are taking? No. It just means we are not qualified to be angry. Once we reach to a point where when we know to what extent, what effect of our words is going to be, how our words are going to help the other soul. Lord Narada could get angry because he knew what he was doing and he could deliver the two sons of Kuvera, right? Nal Kuvera and Manigreva, because he knew what he was doing. So we have no right, if we take it very simply. Hare
Prabhuji, you have mentioned Prabhupada gives two types of anger. Sorry, Prabhuji, I couldn't get that. Hanumanji and one more
Arjuna.
example. You gave. Arjuna.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So in the battlefield, Arjuna was angry, and see, there is a lot to learn when Bhagavad Gita starts. Arjuna says, "No, I don't want to fight." It is same Arjuna who has taken the vow that he is going to kill. For Karna, he had taken that vow. Right? Bhima had taken the vow for all the Kauravas. And the same Arjuna, before the battle starts, he's saying, "No, it's okay. I'll not fight. I'm okay to beg, but I will not fight." So the point is, the heart of a devotee is always caring for others without thinking actually about his own convenience or his own personal interest. So when we go for book distribution, that is one of the part of pure devotional service. We cannot experience what is pure devotional service if we are not qualified, and if you want to experience it in early ages, right? Book distribution is one way. And we were discussing about the controlled anger. Controlled anger is one, and we know the effect of that. If we are very clear, these words are going to help this person, then yes, we can get angry, because then it is not an anger. It is just a different expression done in the favor of the soul that we are interacting. So coming back to the verse, so Maitreya Rishi is telling to Vidura, "All good fortune unto you, the foolish king, who thought himself very learned," means King Vena, "thus insulted the great sages, and the sages, being broken-hearted by the king's words, became very angry at him." So these sages are qualified to get angry, because when they do it, they know it is for the welfare of the soul, for the society, and for everyone. If they don't do it, everyone is going to suffer. Once even Srila Prabhupada, when he was in one of the session by Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, one snake comes, and Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj says, "Kill this snake." And then Prabhupada, when later was reading a verse in Srimad Bhagwatam, where it said that the snake and scorpions, and they can be killed because they are poisonous and they are going to create more harm for the society. They can be killed. And Prabhupada understood, yeah, okay, this is why my Guru Maharaj had told this thing. It is also said that by using the mantras and the medicines, even a snake who is full of poison can be pacified. His effect can be reduced. But when we carry envy kind of poison in our heart, that is even more difficult to control. So how can we kill or remove the poison that we are carrying in our heart? So there is no other answer other than taking the shelter of the Lord. Because the moment we realize there is something, I was reading today morning a section by my Guru Maharaj where it was mentioned, every devotee knows that I can do better. The chanting that I'm doing is not the best. It should be it should be improvised. The relationships that I carry with the devotees should be improved, and I can do better in my sadhana. But everyone knows there is some room to improve, but we are not able to do. Irrespective of that, we never stop trying. Irrespective of all our limitations, we never stop trying, because each devotee serving has a very clear understanding that Krishna is most merciful. He does not look at our qualities. He does not look at our shortcomings. And without even we being qualified, he shows the mercy. So we always have the hope. This is called Asha Bandh, hope against hope. So let us continue our journey. Even if we have limitations, even if we have challenges, most important thing before we solve the problem is to identify the problem. Anger and the problems, why does the anger comes? Because when we want something and it is not fulfilled. So we will just spend another 1 or maximum 2 minutes on this point. It's very, very important, and it is going to set up the right foundation for the next slokas that we are going to discuss. So the anger comes when some of the need or greed, whatever we say, are not met. And what are our needs, so-called needs? We think they are the best thing for us to be achieved next. Right? If we get them, we become happy. If we don't get them, we become angry. But it is only Krishna who knows our past and who knows our future. And he knows how much time we are left with. He knows what is our shortest path to go back to him. We don't see that. And if Krishna is doing it his way, it is undoubtedly better than the path that we had chosen for ourselves. So there is no question of being angry. I 100% agree. It is very easy to say. But unless we meditate about that, unless we give it a thought, it is impossible to come out of that. If we give it a thought, we may fail. No problem. We at least knew. If we don't give it a thought, we are 100% going to fail. So the point is, only Krishna knows our shortest path to go back to him. He knows how much time we are left with. This anger or the difficult time is something like a, say, 2 crore rupees check. And this 2 crore rupees check can be encashed only if we give it to Krishna. What do I mean? If we have a check, we had discussed it in one of our Bhagavad Gita class. So sorry if it is a repeat, but it is worth repeating also. If I have a check of 2 crore rupees, and if I take that check and put it in a letterbox, or if I put it in a dustbin, or if I put it any other box other than the bank to which the check belongs to, I'm not going to get even a single penny. But if this check I'm going to give it and present it in the bank, I'm going to get my full 100% 2 crore rupees encashed. Similarly, these problems which causes us the anger, okay, are those 2 crore rupees check. We don't have to unnecessarily put it in the dustbin by giving some unnecessary action to that. That's not going to help. Telling it to different person, he did it with me like this, is not going to help. Those are all those useless boxes. Okay. The most important box, the bank who is going to encash it, is the Lord Krishna. Speak to Krishna from your heart and tell, see Krishna, I have been given this problem by the arrangement, my karmas, your mercy, and all. Please give me power that I can go through this. As we had discussed last week, our every situation should bring us more and more closer to the Lord. And if we have that mood, then the externals will not matter. The elderly gopis in the Putana Leela did not know that Putana was already killed by the Lord. When he sucked the life air, she fell down suddenly and the elderly gopi ran. They did not know if Putana was already killed. They were only one thing that they were worried about, Krishna, because they were not able to see Krishna. They all started climbing and getting Krishna, and external does not matter when we know what is our goal. So anger, once again, when we just before we go to the next sloka now, is a very important emotion. We are not qualified to express it if we are not meeting these criteria. Means how much to show, when to show, with what should be our mood, and beyond which we should not go. When we are qualified with all these questions, yeah, we do have the license to get angry. Otherwise, better is to accept it and then encash it with Krishna. Because in the first case, anyway, because when we are doing it in a controlled way, it is anyway with Krishna. Right? Any questions, comments so far? We can discuss. We do have time. Okay. We go to the next 31. Hanyatam sorry, let me repeat. Hanyatam esha papa prakarti darunuh जीवन जगत अश्व आसु कुरुते भस्माद ध्रुवम. Translation. Prabhuji, Mataji, want to read? Yes.
Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the great saintly sages immediately cried to kill him, kill him. He is a most dreadful, sinful person. If he lives, he will certainly turn the whole world into ashes in no time. Purport. Saintly persons are generally very kind to all kinds of living entities, but they are not unhappy. When a serpent or scorpion is killed, it is not good for saintly person to kill, but they are encouraged to kill demons who are exactly like serpent and scorpion. Therefore all the saintly sages decided to kill King Vena, who was dreadful and dangerous to all human society. We can appreciate the extent to which the saintly sages actually control the king. If the king or government become demonic. It is the duty of a saintly person to upset the government and replace it with deserving persons who follow the order and instructions of saintly person. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So we can see all the sages immediately started saying, kill him, right? Because they can see this chapter begins right in the beginning. If they don't try convincing the king, okay, then the king is going to create problem. They knew all these things. They gave it a try, the final try, and when they found it not working, they knew what has to be done. And the sages were so powerful that they did not have to use any weapon or anything. Just through their mantras, they killed the king. So once again, as we just discussed, King Vena, because when he was not accepting the instructions, it is as good as he was already killed. There is no point of living a life without any instruction. See, we know our 4 defects, right? We are always under the illusion. Senses are incomplete, imperfect, tendency to cheat. With all these limitations, with all our so-called limited experience of this material world, what best we can expect for ourselves? So the point is, we must have someone in our life to whom we can approach. At least to be called as a living person, this much has to be there, whether we are able to accept or not, right? Whether to what degree we are going to try out also. All those things are very important, but secondary. We should at least have an accessibility to a person, to a source who can help us to at least create a possibility that there is a room for correction. So if we take the example of Dhritarashtra, he had the accessibility, right, of same Bhagavad Gita, which Sanjaya heard, which Arjuna heard. He also heard. At least he had Vidura, he had Sanjaya, who were there to help him. And eventually we see, right, Srimad Bhagwatam first canto towards the end, Vidura, with the help of the Vidura's instruction, finally the Dhritarashtra leaves the palace. So it is very, very important that we take the shelter. We are very, very fortunate in our movement because there is a series of such opportunities that we have. It can be in the form of shastras, through our mentors, through so many mediums are there. Okay, so I heard it from in one of my recent lecture where it was said, you respect all, hear many, and follow one. Okay, I repeat, we should respect all, hear many, and follow one. And to whom we follow is directly going to decide what kind of devotee we are going to be. Okay, there the safest. Okay, Srila Prabhupada in one of the discussions, it was mentioned that in the nectar of devotion, we hear for Ragatmika Bhakta, we should follow someone who is in the mood of like some Brijvasi. Srila Prabhupada said, like, I'm the Brijvasi, follow me. So once there is a very nice book by His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu, who is a Pakka Brajvasi, one of the very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And that book's first line in the introduction, right? The first page, first line of that book was, there was a devotee and he was very happy, appreciating coming to Vrindavana for the first time. So Prabhupada asked him, you want Vrindavan? And he said, yes. Prabhupada said, okay, take it. Who in the world has the authority to say so? So let us take the shelter of Srila Prabhupada through his books. Those purports, Bhaktivedanta purports, every word of them has come from deep core of his heart. Those words may look like English, but those are transcendental words. So our success in Krishna conscious movement is exactly equal to how much faith we have on Srila Prabhupada. The acharyas whom we see in our altar are the living persons, always monitoring us. I heard this story a day before yesterday. Saturday there was a program. So many people were coming on the bank of Ganges to take bath, and then Lord Shiva and Parvati were also talking. Mother Parvati was saying, these people are coming and all the sins will be washed off. And then Lord Shiva says, no, not for all of them. Then Mother Parvati says, no, they are coming and taking bath. Then how is it possible that it will still be there? And then Lord Shiva demonstrates it with the help of, by becoming a old lady. And so many people come. And then they see that old lady struggling to get up. So everyone, most of them, like in beginning, they said, I want to help you, the old lady. And then the old lady said, yeah, please help me. But there is only one condition, that you have to be pure without any sins before you touch me to move to other side. Otherwise, you will die immediately. And all those people were very scared. They did not touch. Once finally a person comes and then he says, I just taken bath in Ganges. There are no sins. There is no question of sins. I'll move you. That person had that faith. So the point is, we all are doing the same activity externally. It is very, very important statement. I'm saying first for myself, for my own purification. We all are doing the same activity. We all wake up in the morning. We all are doing chanting. We all are hearing Krishna Katha. We all are having altars in our homes. Where is the difference? The difference is in the consciousness, the faith. Chanting without faith is also benefactory. We cannot imagine. It is always beyond imagination. How much we can expect from our own imagination? Very limited. So no question of imagining. Surrendering is the best policy. But if we do surrender with full faith, again the results are completely imaginary. I mean, sorry, by imaginary means beyond the limits. So let us have the full faith in each and every word of Srila Prabhupada. He did not have any reason to go anywhere. Uddhava, after he stayed in Vraja with the Brajvasis, went back to Mathura to tell Krishna how much the Brajvasis were missing Krishna. So this was the question asked. Why did Uddhava leave? He was in the continuous association of the Brajvasis. He had even a desire to become a blade of grass, so that the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis can come on top of him. Because gopis were respecting Uddhava. If he asked for the dust, they will never give. So Uddhava thought, the only way I should get is by becoming grass, so that when gopis steps on, I'll get the dust. Same Uddhava, why did he leave the Vrija and went to Mathura, right? Gokul, and why did he leave that? So the answer that was given by His Holiness Radha Raman Maharaj during this session was for the very same reason that Srila Prabhupada went from Vrindavana, to let whole world know about Krishna. So to tell Krishna how much the Brijvasis were missing Krishna, Uddhava went out of the Brij. So Srila Prabhupada did so much for us, and how we can repay back to him? Just by delivering ourselves. And how we can deliver ourselves without having full faith on Srila Prabhupada. We have no idea what we have got. It is same Srila Prabhupada who had made Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I will never meet or see the face of a person who is not Lakpati. Lakpati means 100,000, right? 100,000. So a person who chants 64 rounds, 16 rounds is equal to almost 27,000, means 25,000 plus. And if a person who chants 64 means 16 into 4, then it becomes 100,000 names of the Lord every day. So Mahaprabhu said, I will never see a person who can say, other than Srila Prabhupada, okay, he said 32, 25, and then not less than 16. If Prabhupada had not made it 16 for us, had it remained on 64, how many of us could be here in this forum now? How could we say we are following Srila Prabhupada? My Guru Maharaj was telling this thing, that Srila Prabhupada did not do it that, okay, you are going to put 25% of the efforts, right? 64, 16 out of 64 means 25%. So because you're going to pay 25% of the efforts, so you will get 25% of the benefits. No, with same 100% value, by paying the 25% cost, you're going to get the same results. So the most important thing is we have got this thing, and now we should value for it. We can become a patra when we understand what we have got. So the next verse we go. Nayam arhati asadvritto naradeva varasanam yo adiyajna patim vishnum vinindati ana patrapaha. Can I request some Prabhuji or Mataji to please read the translation, the purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kindly go ahead.
Pranams. Translation by and profit by Divine Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. The saintly sages continued, this impious, impudent man does not deserve to sit on the throne at all. He is so shameless that he even dared insult the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. Profit by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. One should not at any time tolerate blasphemy and insults against Lord Vishnu or his devotees. A devotee is generally very humble and meek, and he is reluctant to pick a quarrel with anyone, nor does he envy anyone. However, a pure devotee immediately becomes fiery with anger when he sees that Lord Vishnu or his devotee is insulted. This is the duty of a devotee. Although a devotee maintains an attitude of meekness and gentleness, it is a great fault on his part if he remains silent when the Lord or his devotee is blasphemed. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagwatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that when someone blasphemes the Lord or his devotees, then we have these 4 options. First, kill the person who said so. Second, commit suicide. Third, correct the person with the logical right answer. Fourth, if we cannot do third also. Fourth, leave the place. So 1 and 2 we cannot do, nor we should even think about that. To do 3, we should be very, very good in our scriptural knowledge. And until we are at level 3, we should follow 4. What if we are at a point, at a place where we cannot even leave? There are 10 people discussing about something. We cannot do 1 and 2. We are not prepared for 3. And if we do 4, we have to face those same people next day. We are with them, say office or the neighbors. Well, it all depends on how we take that situation. This is mentioned in the scripture, and we should follow that. If people around us see that we really disliked it, they should either stop discussing that in front of us. And well, I don't know how authenticated it is, so it is a responsibility of all of us. But I just want to share, like, we should at least leave that place mentally. Our ears should not hear what they are telling. If it is reaching to a point that leaving the place physically will spoil the relation, and we even further lose the opportunity to preach them further, to avoid that situation with that mood, leave that place through your ear. Means nothing should enter your mind. What if we are not even able to do it? Again, it has to be checked for authentication. So it's a homework for all of us, whether all this is correct way of doing it or not. Hear them so carefully that next time when the same situation comes, you will be at level 3. We discussed in the beginning, we discussed in the last Monday, we have to get best out of every situation, right? How we can serve Krishna best. These are the prescribed ways. Last 2 are the I don't know the authenticity, but I'm just thinking I'm just telling what I'm thinking. So it has to be checked for the authentication. Okay. So we'll go to the next last 33rd. Kovenam parikshitaha venam ekam vrate ashubham prapta idrisham aishwaryam yad anugraha bhajnaha. We request Krishnamurti Prabhuji and Archana Mataji. How? This is the last verse. So Krishnamurti Prabhuji, please read the translation, and Archana Mataji, please read the purport.
Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. But for King Vena, who is simply inauspicious, who would blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose mercy one is awarded all kinds of fortune and opulence. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna
Archana Mataji.
Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. When human society, individually or collectively, becomes godless and blasphemes the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is certainly destined for ruination. Such a civilization invites all kinds of bad fortune due to not appreciating the mercy of the Lord. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. And thank you, Prabhuji. So it is mentioned, if the whole society is not Krishna conscious, then it is going to ruin. And what we can do? We are in the same situation, right? There is nothing other than these 1.5 to 2 hours of chanting, 1 hour of discussion. Remaining 18 hours, we are surrounded by the material things, be it newspaper, be it school books, be it anything, mobile phone. I heard it like recently. Mobile phone is the senior principal disciple of Kali Yuga. So it is right there with us all the times to distract. So what to do? 4 out of 22. Oh, sorry, 4 out of 24. 4 hours out of 24 hours. We are always, or at least most of the times, we are not Krishna conscious. So there is only one hope. That hope is Srila Prabhupada taking its shelter, praying him. We can pray. At least when we cannot change ourselves, right? We have to go to the same office, same society. I mean, all of us have our own battlefield. When we go for book distribution, we tell everybody, like Arjuna had his own battlefield in Kurukshetra, and we have our own. He had his own reasons of being distressed, and we have our own. But the solution is same. So realizing that we are in problem is the first step for coming out of the problem. Like a fish, very often quoted example by Srila Prabhupada. The natural position for a fish is to be in water. And we are training ourselves for life after life. How to become happy without water? It's not possible. So the point is, preach so that people around us are more Krishna conscious. If we do have a desire, the things will work. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. Every moment can be Krishna conscious moment. If we do have a desire, we have to feel like that fish and realize that there is no water around us. The rest is on Krishna, whether he puts us in a small cup of water, in a pond, or in an ocean, that is his responsibility. Or a drop of rain to survive, to let that fish survive. We can do anything at any time, provided we are looking forward for it. So the summary of all discussion today is anger is very important, but we should know what are the qualifications to be an angry person. And if we do get angry, we should know what are our limits, to what degree we can be angry, what should be the purpose of being angry. There was a question asked to Her Grace Nitai Sevani Mataji that if we do get angry, then we should chant. And then the question asked was, if we do have so much consciousness with us that when we get angry, that we have to chant, then the anger, that is not the real anger. Then Mataji says, then better to not get angry only. Because anger means what? We have to forget ourselves. It's a very clear definition, right? We have to forget, and we have to act something which we don't expect from ourselves. Well, if that is the anger we call, then from today our definition of being angry should change. We are not qualified to become angry. And then discuss the various examples of Srila Prabhupada, book distribution, the kind of experience that we get. We discussed those different steps. 4 were authorized, 2 we discussed. What to do when we hear about blaspheming of the Lord and the Lord Krishna and his devotees. And then what we can do, we are always surrounded by our society which is not Krishna conscious. So we should try to preach first to ourselves, then to others, and pray the Lord. Yeah, we are almost on time. If you have any questions, comments, we can take it. Otherwise, we are.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It was very nice learning, very nectarian. And this anger you told about, good anger also. That was very interesting. New perspective to anger. Controlled anger, right? You said it's allowed, but not the.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. He had mentioned in that Vacho Vegam Manasa, these two examples of Arjuna and Hanuman. Yes, Salami Mataji, you want to say something? I saw one hand.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry, I'm driving and I was on mute. So there was, one time, I don't know if I was in a lecture, Prabhupada said that we can be angry when Krishna is being blasphemed or if anything bad is being done. Like, there was a time where the devotees overseas were being jailed and beaten and, all of that, So what do we do? The one thing that I learned regarding blasphemy is if somebody was blaspheming Krishna, like I had a friend and I was trying to, tell him about Krishna, and then he got really horrible and he said Krishna is a playboy and stuff like that. And I started to get angry, and then I realized that I really need to dissociate. So that two things. So that number one, I don't get angry. And number two, I don't go to that stage of blasphemy to somebody blaspheming Krishna. So that's how I sort of manage the anger when people talk things about Krishna. But Prabhuji, maybe you can just advise when Krishna's devotees are being abused and, there's a lot of terror that was put on devotees in other countries where the temples were burned and, Krishna's vigrahas were being thrown away. What should one do? What should a devotee do in instance? And I know pray to Krishna, but is it
Okay. I seem to have lost you, Mataji, for last few seconds, but I understood the question. So the sense of that is at least. So if we are in a position where our actions can directly help, we must help. Okay. It can be in terms of through our words, through our funds. Okay. This is for those who are affected, the victim. Now, the people who are saying so and are doing so, if we can take some action to stop that, we must do that. If we can not do anything, there are different stages. If we are at a place where the incident has happened, and if we can make a difference, we are at a position, we must do it. If we are not, and then someone is just repeating the words, favoring those who did it, then because if problem happens in one place, rest of the whole world is repeating it, right? They are just repeating the words of those who did it. Now, most of us falls into that category. So what should be the, how should we handle them? Okay, I guess this is what your precisely the question was. So we must follow the same what we discussed today. Scripture says, kill the person. It's option 2, commit suicide. Both of them, no. We should not do it. We are the representative of Srila Prabhupada. We have to take the movement forward. These two options will put a question mark. So yes, it is scriptural in current circumstances, and because we want to serve Krishna more, right? What if we ourselves are not here, and then more people are asking questions? There is the number of devotees in the world, the percentage is very, very minute, right? Killing the person is going to put us in bad news. We are not going to spread. Prabhupada will not like it. Stopped, cancelled, option cancelled. Committing suicide. Why you want to even reduce the percentage further? We are very less. We are in severe minority. The devotees, right? That Manushyanam Sahasra issue, already very less. Option 2 also cancelled. Option 3, what we discussed, was to answer those persons with the help of the scriptures, using the current way of making them understand. If we have that scriptural knowledge, that's why read, read scriptures, very, very important. If we ourselves don't know, then it will be just at the most sentimental platform. We will not like it. We cannot do anything. We ourselves will be in distress when we hear. No, we have to take ourselves out of distress. We have to help others to also answer, because all this requires we to be very firm in our understanding of the scriptures. If we are not at 3, option 4, leave the place. If that is also not possible, close your ears. That is also not possible. Note down the questions, find the answer. Next time it happens, you can answer them. So this is, I don't know whether it answers your question, Mataji. Please feel free to ask if something is left unanswered.
Yeah. Prabhu, I was saying, when devotees are getting harmed and beaten and Krishna deities are being, broken, must we have anger? What do we do?
Yes, Mataji, we must be angry. And how do we utilize our anger? By keeping the image of the society also in place. We must not act physically, otherwise there is no difference, and we are harming the image of Srila Prabhupada, his movement. So we should do everything keeping ISKCON's image in center, and we, as I said, we should help through our words to those who have suffered, through our funds to re-establish them, to any action, because even that incident which had happened a couple of years back, then ISKCON came together worldwide. Some actions were taken. We cannot stop them, but we can do our part of protesting against that. We must do that in a peaceful manner, and then pray. It is Kali Yuga. It is going to increase more. Prabhupada says it is not the place for gentlemen. Right? Increase your preaching more. If any problem in the world, His Grace, His Holiness Swam Bhagwan Kishore Maharaj was telling, Srila Prabhupada mentions it actually many, many times. If any part of the world, any problem is happening, India is responsible, because India is not doing its part of preaching sufficiently. It is our mistake. If we want to, I learned this lesson during my book distribution through one elderly Mataji. She told, in your life, if you want to progress, never blame anyone. This is what Prabhupada says. Any problem in the world is happening, India is responsible. We have failed in doing the preaching sufficiently. So, what action? Preach more. How we preach more? When we learn more. Why do we learn? To help the society, not to prove that I am a scholar now. There are enough who have come and gone. That has not changed the world. Only when we surrender to the Lord with the mood, we should. Vasudev Datta, when told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please give me the problems of the whole world. I want to face them alone. Please forgive everyone. Mahaprabhu said, you have purchased me now with your compassion. If Mahaprabhu is there, who where can create the problem. No. So mood is important. Mood of a person. Vasudev Datta was sufficient to deliver the whole world. Follow, take the shelter of Vasudev Datta through compassion by preaching, book distribution, prayers, chanting, prasadam, and your life. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any other comments, questions, suggestions? Prabhuji, Mataji? Right. So we are over time now. So kindly forgive me if I said something lack of my knowledge. Seek your continuous prayers, blessings. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhayacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, शील प्रभुपाद की जय, सनातन प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.